What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Vans Gaming coming back at you live with The Walking Dead, the Road to Survival Gaming app. And I've gotten a lot of requests about me making a video about the supply depot, about which is the best 5 stars to get, or which 5 stars to buy from the supply depot first. How do I get a lot of supply depot points? What do I do? What do I do? This and that. And I was, debating on making this video because I feel like there was just a lot of information already out, but a lot of people wanted to know my opinions on it, and always want to give you guys what you want, and always will try to guide you into the right direction, at least from my stance and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go right into it and talk to you guys about each and every 5-star that's in the supply depot right now, and then after I go over that, I'm gonna go over the rest of the stuff that is in the survival depot, what to avoid to buy, and then what to buy after once you got all the 5 stars that you want. So first and foremost, I want to start off with the drop leads that are in the not I was gonna say survival depot, in the supply depot. So that is the number one important thing. So obviously, I think this video is going to pertain a little bit more to the F2P, which is free to play players. You guys are very important to the game, and I want to guide you the best of my abilities. And definitely, if you guys do not have a medium bonus to item drop chance leader, definitely to get one of those. And the first one we're going to start off here is Ezekiel. He's pretty cool. He's still good. A lot of people still use him as their leader, for a drop lead. All teammates get 80% attack and 40% defense for 2 turns. And obviously his leader skill for that bonus drop, and then melee teammates get 24 crit. So this is, if you have a lot of melee toons instead of range, you definitely want him because he'll give that 24 crit. So you could get, those zombies down, especially for survival road, because those zombies can be a son of a bitch, and you definitely want to get that crit down, because once you keep going up levels, it's definitely a bitch. And definitely for actually offense wise, his adrenaline rush isn't that bad. The 80% attack and 40% defense will really help you, especially as an F2P player. I think it'll help you immensely, for offense. Definitely not a defense toon-wise, in my opinion, guys. And then next up, we're going to go ahead and go on to Larry Big Nose Larry. That's what my region calls him anyway. Deals 275% damage and negative 45% attack for 3 turns to 1 enemy and all enemies adjacent to it. I remember when he came out, a lot of people were using him for defense, and he was actually a beast at the time. Obviously he kind of sucks dick now, but at the time it was hilarious because I actually did lose to a lot of teams that used him for their defense. But yeah, he was a savage back in the day. And he's another item drop chance toon. He also gives all strong teammates get 24 crit. So obviously, compared to Ezekiel and Larry, you'd want, Ezekiel because he's all melee teammates, and Larry is just all strong. So it's just one base of a trait. So I'd suggest Ezekiel, but Larry is actually good again for offense purposes. He does have a really good rush. He's kind of like a Davy in a sense. He gives that negative 45% attack for 3 turns to 1 enemy and all enemies adjacent. So kind of just a little bit better than Davy, because Davy only does 3 enemies, I believe. But Larry is pretty good for offense purposes as well. But again, if you had to choose between Ezekiel and Larry, I would choose Zeke. And then going on to Annie, another item drop chance toon. All teammates get 35% defense and 30% attack for 5 turns. And obviously, again, item drop chance, and all fast teammates get 24 crit. Again, so if you had to choose between these 3 drop toon leads, definitely Zeke, because she is pretty much like Larry. She's only all fast, so one specific type of trait, while Zeke is all melee teammates. So guys, if I had to pick 3, I definitely go for Zeke from the supply depot. If you do not have an item drop chance toon yet, which you definitely need to get, because to progress in this game, you definitely need to farm a shitload. And while farming a shitload, you want a probability of getting some 4-star and 3-star weapons. So definitely, you're gonna need this toon, no doubt about it. So go ahead and try to save up for Zeke, and I'll give a few tips at the end of this video on how to get some more supply depot points. But for Annie, once you kind of already got your item drop chance and all the other cool 5 stars from the supply depot, she has a pretty neat toon to have as well for offense purposes. You know, she's not bad. All team, you know, you get that 35% defense and 30% attack, which, you know, could be very useful for you. Now we're going to move on to the blue based in the supply depot, and first off is Tyrese. He wasn't the main 5-star toon that was in when the supply depot came out, but they added him in, and he's an absolute beast. I was kind of a little bit upset at first because he was like a really beast toon, and I was like, hell yeah, I have like 2 of them, and now anybody could get him. So I was like, oh man, now he's not really that special, but he's still a beast, definitely for offense and defense, because his special skill is neutralize. Neutralize definitely does play a big part in defense teams nowadays, and even though he is 58 AP, he does amazing. His adrenaline rush, 300% damage to a line of enemies. All teammates get 50% attack and 50% defense for 2 turns, so that is no joke. I've gone against, you know, a bunch of these blue Tyreses, and, you know, sometimes they go off, and that defense is no joke. It takes a long time to kill the toons that are still up, so he's really one of the best toons to have. No doubt about it, especially that neutralize. Neutralize is another big gain that you need in offense and your defense, so definitely one of the best in here. And then we're going on to the big bad Andrea. The OG Andrea has been in this game since day 1, and she is still a beast, because there's a lot of OG toons in this game that are shit now, and she's still great. 800% damage to one enemy, so 1 shot, 1 kill, unless you have, like someone like Shield Michonne with a tanky weapon that could take 2 eagle shots to the face, but that is a different story. Her leader skill, all top teammates get 30% attack and a very large bonus to AP when attacking, so this is definitely important for your offense base. If you have a lot of blue range, you definitely need this blue Andrea, because she is an easy, amazing leader skill toon that you could obtain just from the supply depot. You don't have to spend coinage. It's all tough teammates, so, you know, all blue. 30% attack is great, and then the very large bonus AP when attacking. I love that. I love every little skill that has that, so definitely very important. So I'd suggest, you know, really getting her off the bat if you have a lot of blue toons. And even if you don't, guys, I think she's still great to have offense based. Let's say you have like a melee universal leader toon, and you just have like 1 Andrea in your offense. You know, you could still make her AR pop, and you can still kill 1 toon, no sweat. So I think she's still really great in the game. I don't think she's ever gonna really go away in the aspect of being a great toon. I think she's just gonna be amazing overall, so definitely someone to have. And then we got Maggie, blue Maggie. You know, I was kind of a little iffy with her a little bit. I didn't like her when she came out, even when she came out into the game. But her adrenaline rush, all teammates regain 60% of their max HP and 75% attack for 1 turn, and she is a 75 AP toon, so barf. Leader skill, all teammates get 30% attack and 30% defense against tough characters. So if you had to choose between Andrea and Maggie, obviously you want to choose Andrea. I don't think Maggie is going to help you out immensely. Obviously, you know, if you already have an Andrea and a blue Tyrese, and you know, you're kind of building this blue team, then maybe you do want to get Maggie to incorporate into that Andrea offense, but she's definitely not going to be useful for you at all in defense, for her being 75 AP. But rather than that, she's not that great in my opinion, guys. She kind of sucks, so I wouldn't, you know, kind of suggest getting her. If, you know, if you really want her, go ahead, and she could fit in with your Andrea team, but, you know, for me, I would say no. And then we're going on to Eric. He is a badass. I love Eric. His adrenaline rush, all teammates regain 40% of their max HP, recover from attack penalties and 30% defense, and 20 crit for 3 turns. So he is a farm toon, plus a heal toon, plus a recover toon, so that's pretty awesome. Leader skill, all top teammates get 30% HP and 30% defense. So if you know me, I don't like toons, even though they have a really great leader skill like Eric. He has, you know, a tanky leader skill, but personally, my favorites are only universals, or kind of universals with a specific trait, kind of like Andrea. But, you know, leader skills like this I don't like, but he could go really well in an Andrea team or a really good range leader team. He has messed me up a couple of times. You know, for that 30% defense for 3 turns is actually, you know, plays really well, and, you know, his heal is obviously really great too. But Eric has messed me up a couple times, and I think he'd go really well in a ranged offense and defense. Defense, I think, even though he's 76 AP, but for some reason he manages to go off somehow if you have a really good build. But I'd suggest, after you get Andrea, after you get your drop tune first, then an Andrea, then a neutralized Tyrese, and then maybe an Eric afterwards if you gain that many supply depot points. Next up, we have yellow little badass Sophia. Her adrenaline rush deals 450% damage to one enemy. All teammates get 50% defense for 2 turns. Her leader skill, all fast teammates get 45% HP. So I wouldn't use her as a leader right off the bat, but she is a really good toon to have for offense and defense. She's a 45 AP toon, and she will give your toons 50% defense for 2 turns. She only hits one enemy, but that defense does go a long way, so I think she will go really, really valuable in your roster. And like I said, 45 AP toons. We love 45 AP toons. Next up, we got yellow Morgan. Oh my god, I remember he was such a bitch to go up against back in the day of the game. Adrenaline Rush, all teammates regain 60% of their max HP and recover from attack penalties and defense penalties. His leader skill, all melee teammates get 30% defense and a very large bonus to AP when taking damage. So, guys, overall, I still have a lot of love for Morgan, especially in the show, and I still had a lot of love for him when in the beginning of the game. Obviously, he was such an OG. Nowadays, Morgan is not good. He can make, I guess he can go well in an offense team. You can use him as a healer, but I honestly, guys, I would suggest not buying him. You can buy so many other 5-stars from the supply depot. He used to be good. He's not in his prime anymore. His leader skill, Yellow Dwight from the museum, that event back in the day, he has the exact same leader skill as him. The whole, and, Morgan is when taking damage, and I think universals when taking damage, I think those aren't good universals. I think it's when very large when when attacking, not taking damage. He's not good anymore because if you put him in a defense, everybody's just gonna hit Morgan, and they're just gonna get their AR off him. That's actually I remember perfectly clear at the time when people started to figure out how to bypass Morgan, because a lot of people would defend with Morgan as their lead, but as soon as it kind of progressed, people started progressing. You just had to hit Morgan like 5 times and all your ARs would go up like second turn and you'd wipe out the whole team. So overall, Morgan isn't good anymore. He's a good healer, but overall I would suggest not getting him from the supply depot. We have yellow Tyrese. Adrenaline Rush, all teammates regain 40% of their max HP and 80% defense for 2 turns. Leader skill, all fast teammates get 30% of HP and 30% attack. So again, would not use him for defense or as your leader whatsoever. Although he is really good for offense. When I first got him from the supply depot, I was using him for offense, and he was actually really good. He helped me a lot. I used him in a melee build. With Victor, with yellow Victor as a lead, and he's actually really helped me a lot with that 80% defense for 2 turns and being a healer himself. So I think Tyrese is still actually very good for a melee based offense, but like I said, nope, don't put him in a defense and don't put him as your leader. That's just my little opinion to you guys. Obviously you don't have to do as I say, but that's just what I think. But I think he's really good for offense, and I think he's really still a good toon to have to buy off from the supply depot. So there's that. Next up, we are going to go ahead and go with the greens now, and we're starting off with Dwight. He was just added as well with neutralized Tyrese as well a couple months back, and he's pretty good. Actually, I don't think he sucks, to be honest with you guys. You want to know why? Because we're kind of actually really scarce with green heal toons. That's actually what I noticed when I realized that Griezas, which is the green command Jesus, is my only healing green, and I'm happy that I have him, or else I would have to use his Dwight. But his adrenaline rush deals 500% damage to one enemy, and all teammates regain 35% of their max HP. So he doesn't give a lot of health, and his adrenaline rush sucks overall. But for him being a green healer, I think he's really well. I mean, obviously there's a lot of yellow healers, but going for a specific trait like green, I think he's kind of a little in the rare aspect to have for a green healer. And his special skill is lifesteal, which is shit. But overall, if Dwight wasn't a healer, he'd be total mega shit. But I think he's okay. He's helped a lot of people in offense. Definitely do not put this toon in your defense if you just start. if that's a probability, just don't put him in there. But if you have to, then do that. But the offense, I think he'd be pretty good for you guys for healing. And next up, we got Glenn. Oh my god, I haven't seen this guy in forever in any teams. His Adrenaline Rush, all teammates get 30% attack and 40% defense for 6 turns. So I mean, his Adrenaline Rush is very, very good. I mean, 6 turns is pretty crazy at 58 AP. So I don't even know why a lot of people don't use him. I mean, I can't say that because I don't even use him. And then all strong teammates get 30% attack and 24 crit. So he is a farm tune. You can use him for farming. But obviously, you'd want to use Zeke. He does give the 24 crit, and he is an item drop chance. So Zeke, Glenn, obviously Zeke. But obviously, I would just get Glenn for the museum. You do need him for a museum collection. I'm actually gonna buy him when I see him because I need him for a collection. But that's about it. I'm never gonna use him for anything. You can use him definitely for offense, but defense, nope. And obviously, being a leader, nope. Because he doesn't have that very large when attacking. But overall, he's kind of crap in a sense. I mean, nobody uses him anymore. I would just buy him after you get all your 5 stars from the supply depot just for the museum collection, and that's that. And then now we're gonna go move into reds. We got the red governor. Oh my god, I remember everybody was tripping and won him when he came out. He was actually a beast when he came out. He deals 350% damage to up to 3 enemies, up to 3 teammates who regain 50% of their max HP. So he is actually a really good red healer. Up to 3 teammates who regain 50% of their max HP. He's helped me in a lot of pickles in Survival Road, so I really like him, to be honest with you guys, and I would honestly buy him for being a red healing tune, because I think those are scarce nowadays as well. And his special skill is nothing really great, so I'm not really going to go into that. But overall, he's actually pretty good, in my opinion, guys. And he does do 350 damage to up to 3 enemies, so he could be good for, like, going against the Impair Michonnes and, stuff like that. So, I'd buy him, to be honest. But I already have him. I got him from an event. I forgot when. Next up, we're going Rick, safety behind bars. I love this guy. I still use this guy till this day. Till this day, guys. All teammates regain 50% of their max HP, recover from attack penalties and 50% attack, and 30 crit for 3 turns. Leader skill, all their teammates get 30% attack and 24 crit. So, I still use this guy. I remember he was the first 5-star I've ever gotten from the game. I got him from the Token Temple. He was my first 5-star, and I'll never forget. I was super psyched. And I was actually, honestly, when I first got him, that was just... Oh man, that was just the breaking point for me, because from then on, I wanted to pull 5 stars, because I'm like, oh my god, I need 5 stars. And it's like, I wish I didn't get Rick, but then I did. I'm like, happy I did. But oh my god, because of Rick, that's why I'm play to play. So I'm blaming this Rick. But he's actually really good. I use him for my farming team. A lot of Survival Road I use him. The 24 crit is no joke. I just put random alert tunes behind him. And then he's obviously a healer, so he'll heal me up. He also gives that 30 crit. He's a great farm tune. I use him a lot for farming, and I really suggest buying him at the end of the day once you get obviously all your 5 stars. But he's really good, and I really like him overall. And then we got Clementine. She sucks shit. We're done. I'm just kidding. I'll go ahead and talk about her. Deals 175% damage and causes 150 damage bleeding for 3 turns to 1 enemy and all enemies adjacent. Special skill tenacity. And she sucks. I would not get her. I believe this red Clementine and also the blue Maggie, as well as the yellow Sophia, you have to be prestige 10, 11, or 12. I'm sorry, I forgot which prestige you have to be for that one. But yeah, you have to be a specific prestige to get those soon. So this red Clementine, the blue Maggie, and the yellow Sophia. And also, comment below if I missed any tunes. But yeah, it's locked until your specific prestige. So just want to let you guys know that. But that is all the tunes, all the 5-star tunes so far from the supply depot, guys. So now I'm just going to kind of do a summary on, what to get first. So what order you should go in first on what to buy from the supply depot. And then I'll go ahead and kind of just tell you guys what I do to try to get the most supply depot points. So first off, a medium bonus drop toon lead definitely is the #1 you should get. And I would suggest for all of you to get the green Ezekiel first right off the bat if you don't have an item drop chance toon. So second off, I would suggest getting Andrea. So she will be the start of you making a beast kind of like range offense team and even defense team. But Andrea is going to help you immensely, especially if you have an F2 if you're an F2P player. She's going to help you a lot. And then secondly, I would get neutralized blue Tyrese. He's going to help you a lot, no doubt about it in my mind. Third place, I would probably say honestly, it's a little bit difficult. You can kind of go on a range from those. Honestly, I would suggest probably getting Eric. You're already buying Andrea, neutralize Tyrese. You're making this range. You can make a whole range team from the supply depot, and especially for F2P, this is going to be really helpful for you guys. I'd suggest getting 5-star blue Eric if you're able, kind of going in that order. So Zeke, Andrea, blue Tyrese, and then Eric, and then yellow 5-star Tyrese. I think he's going to help a lot for a melee build once you start doing your melee build. And then afterwards, I would suggest getting Dwight if you need a melee green healer. If you don't, that's fine. But if you want a green one, then I would suggest Dwight. Then afterwards, I would suggest the 5-star governor, the red healer one. Healers are awesome, guys. They're it's just that's why I'm kind of going in that kind of order of healer wise. But he's really good. And then afterwards, honestly, I would suggest you guys getting my 5-star red Rick behind bars. He is awesome. I have a love and hate relationship with the guy. You guys know why. But I would suggest him for some good farming. He's going to help you a lot with farming, especially if you have a lot of alert tunes you could back him up with to get a lot of zombies down, especially for Survival Road. And then lastly, honestly, I would suggest you guys getting the 5-star green Glen just to get that museum collection out of the way. And then afterwards, honestly, the rest of the tunes I would suggest you guys not getting, and just getting probably like 2 or 3 more Andreas, just because I mean, guys, seriously, Andrea teams, they're annoying at best, but they're kind of like still pretty good. No lie about that. They actually still mess a lot of people up, even with like all the OP tunes coming out. They still mess a lot of people up. So I suggest getting 2 or 3 more. And then afterwards, once you are done getting that list of all those tunes that I suggested, if you do go in that order anyway, I would suggest going ahead and buying all the 4-star weapons and the 3-star weapons from the supply depot. That's definitely going to help you a lot in the long run. I would suggest not buying any of the 4-star and 3-star weapons from the supply depot when you are still trying to get all these 5-stars that you're trying to get from the supply depot. So obviously you don't want to spend your supply depot points on the weapons when you can get a 5-star. You got to save up, and hopefully you guys get lucky with super sales and stuff like that. But if you do have the supply depot points and the tune is like right there, and you can't wait, you need it for your offense or defense, you just want to level it up already, I would suggest getting it. But if you can wait for a supreme sale or whatever, I would suggest waiting. And then after you're done getting all these tunes that you need from the supply depot, I would suggest getting the other stuff like the 3-star and the 4-star weapons you can get from in there, as well as raid cans and world energy refill cans. So again, do not buy any of those unless you're done getting all the 5-star tunes that you need from the supply depot, and then you'll be good to go with like going ahead on a shopping spree with the 4-star and the 3-star weapons and the cans and whatnot. So lastly, guys, what I want to end this video with is kind of a little tips to get all these supply depot points. You're like, okay, Vance, you're telling me all these tips and stuff, but how the hell am I supposed to get all these points anyway? So first and foremost, how you can get a shitload of supply depot points is warring a shitload. So just make sure you don't have to get first place in war, second place, or third place. You just have to war a lot. You have to get a lot of war crate chests, and they give out a lot of supply depot points because Scopely are shitheads for that, because obviously we want the elite tokens and stuff like that. But for you guys, it's gonna be really, really good, because you're gonna like get a lot of supply depot points. It's gonna add up. So if you get like 99 plus war crate chests, and a lot of them are supply depot points, you're gonna be really good to go. At hopefully in like about at the end of 2 or 3 months, you're gonna have enough for at least a 5-star toon, or maybe even 2 5-star toons from the supply depot. So that's one way, warning a lot, as well as make sure you do all the roadmaps Scopely puts out that gives out 4-star toons that you're never gonna use, that are just shitty. Make sure you go ahead and sell them for depot points. Obviously, if you end up pulling, if you could finally do a 10 pull or maybe a 45 pull, make sure you depot all those toons and get those supply depot points from all those 4-star and 3-star characters. And as well, I would also suggest training your training grounds. You can go ahead and train up like citizens, like train up like 50 or 60 citizens of anything, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get some trainers out of it. You're maybe even gonna get some Berts, you're gonna get some citizen trainers, any just type of trainer, maybe even some Aidens, and you can also depot them and get them for supply depot points. You probably might have to depot some Berts and Aidens, and a couple to get some supply depot points, but it's just something you're gonna have to do to try to just gain all those points up to try to get that 5-star that you want. So that's my little tip for you guys. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions about the supply depot or anything about this video that you're confused about, definitely comment below and I will answer all of your questions. Anything that you guys are confused about, I will answer. So yeah guys, I really hope that helped. If I did help, definitely give this video a thumbs up, and also a subscription to my page. Mean the world to me, guys. Also comment down below if you have any other questions about my content, my videos, anything random, or you just want to say hi. I will always comment back, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.